right, so we've let our onions caramelize a little bit more. You can come and take a look over here. So our mushrooms have wilted down a little bit, and our mushrooms and our onions have gone translucent. We can get that let that go a little bit longer if we want, but this looks ready to use. So one of the tips for cooking mushrooms is you want to cook them long enough that they release their juice, and then keep cooking them long enough that they reabsorb the juice. For your onions, you're looking for at least some of this translucence, but we can let that go a little longer if we want. But we're ready to start getting our omelet going. So we're going to put that to the back burner, let that warm up a bit. And you can also see our egg mixture. It's gone more homogeneous now. We're kind of seeing just one single color versus whites and yolks. For our omelet, we want to use enough butter that we're not going to stick to our pan. So we're going to do 1 full knob in here, 1.5, and we're going to let that start to melt down. And then for turning our omelet, we have a few different options. A spatula. I like to use our rubber spatula or sometimes an offset. This is perfectly fine, but we're going to try to get a rolling motion on. So my spatula of choice is my plastic pastry spatula. And so on your butter, you want to start seeing some frothiness going, so that's how we know we're starting to get to a proper temperature. You can let that go a little bit more. All right. And once we get our omelet in, we just want to give it a little bit of a whisk around, just get some of those curds to start coming together. You can see they're starting to thicken up a little bit here. And then we're going to let that go. We're going to let that start to set. So while that sets, we're going to start getting some of our omelet ingredients in. We have the mushroom and onion we worked on. We have our cheese. You could shred some Gouda. I think we have some Colby Jack right here. And one of the main differences between a French omelet and a Western omelet, French omelet doesn't have filling. So most Western omelet just refers to having a filling inside. Also, French omelets tend to be a little bit on the runnier side. We can see here our egg is starting to come up. We're going to let that cook a little bit more, and then we can start to roll it over. So you can see that's starting to come together. And just give it a little shake. Alright, let that come together on this side. We want to tri-fold it so we get 3 folds or 2 folds. And once we have that folded over, we're going to give it a flip to the bottom. Okay. And so this is best if you can scoot it towards the end of your pan. You get a little shake. You can use your spatula to get underneath it. So if we're sticking here, we probably should use a little bit more butter. We'll keep that in mind for next time. Once you get your omelet towards the end of your pan, all right, then we can come over. Actually, I'm going to use my bigger spatula for this one. All right. And give it a flip. We're going to push it into our corner. Let that finish in our corner here. That way we get our nice omelet shape. And depending on how runny you want your egg, this is ready to serve, or you can let it set up a little bit more. So we're going to go ahead and transfer this over to our plate. And we're going to use our final bell pepper for garnish. And there we go. Bon appetit.